guys, happy Wednesday, or whenever you're catching the replay. Say hey if you're hopping on live. It is day 3 of the 90-day live Glow Up Your Life challenge. Today I want to talk about the little voice inside of your head. We all have one. Sometimes it's nice to us and sometimes it's not so nice. And today I want to talk about the times when it's not so nice. The times when maybe you're struggling to believe in yourself. You're struggling with self-doubt. You're struggling with comparison. You're struggling with remembering your worthiness, right? It comes in all shapes and forms. And if you guys are hopping on live, say hello. If you're catching the replay, say hey in the comments. So I want to keep it real with you guys. I have a very strong, mean little voice inside of my head. And that voice has held me back from a lot of things, and it still does. And the biggest part of my journey has been learning to walk with the voice instead of trying to immediately kill it off, if that makes sense. So let's break this down. I want you guys to just think about a time when maybe you were really excited about something, right? You think about your dream life, right? You really want it. You're so excited. Briggs. Shh. If you can hear my dog, his collar, he's scratching. Think about something that you were really excited about, right? A big goal or a dream or anything that you felt really good about in one moment. And then in the next moment, that little voice of self-doubt comes chirping in, telling you all the reasons that you're not good enough, telling you all the reasons that it's not possible for you, making you feel silly, right? That's what my inner critic really likes to do, is it likes to make me feel like shit. It's like to be like, it's saying to me things like, who are you to think that you could do that, right? That's so silly. Like, your dream is so cute, but absolutely not. Like, you absolutely cannot have that, right? That's kind of how it shows up for me. Or it'll want to play back all of the times in the past where I've failed. It wants to point out anything and everything to prove my the good voice, the excitement, the belief in myself. It's trying to come in there and tear it down. And we're going to go into later in the challenge why this is coming up. This is coming up to try to keep us safe, right? Because anytime you have a dream, if it's outside of your comfort zone, outside of the box of what you believe is possible for you, right? Your conditioning, your programs, etc., that voice is trying to keep you small, because small equals safe. Small equals very known, and our ego likes to know what to expect. So it's a protection mechanism, but it's annoying as all hell, right? And I notice for me, there are a lot more negative voices that want to try to pull me down, the voices that want to tell me that I'm not good enough, all the reasons why I can't have what I want. That voice is so strong. And recently, I've been feeling extremely excited about the future, right? Like, I'm writing a book, I have my podcast, I have all these big dreams and goals. And on one hand, I feel so excited and aligned. I get lit up thinking about this. When I'm writing the book, I'm like, wow, this is good. This is going to help so many people. And I'm feeling in the flow, right? The next minute, it's like, it's so crazy, night and day. I want to hear if you guys feel the same, if this is something that you've dealt with. 1 minute I'm on top of the world, and the next minute that little freaking voice comes in and it says, who the fuck are you to write a book? Who do you think you are? You think that you're going to be a motivational speaker? You think that your book is going to be a New York Times bestseller? You think that you can actually impact thousands and millions of people? And I'm like, wow, you're right. Who the fuck am I to think that? And then I crawl into this little hole. I go into my pity party. I cry about it. I get really upset. Why me? Why do I have this voice? Because that dream was exciting to me, right? I was really pumped up just a couple minutes prior. And then all of a sudden, these little thoughts come in, these little beliefs, and all of the past experiences that validate them. So here's the key here, is that little voice is not wrong, because it does have some past experiences to back it up. All of my failures, all of the times when I went for it, but then I retreated, right? All of my inconsistencies, all of my judgments, those come up, and they're true. They've happened. So now it makes you think, makes me think, makes you think, if you're similar, well, why is this time going to be any different? Every single time in the past, that little voice, that mean voice, it's won in the past. So who am I to think that it's going to be different this time around? That's what I want to talk about today. So what I've been doing because I do have these big dreams and I'm sick of letting that little voice sabotage me and make me believe it's not possible, because there's so many people out there that do that. Here's the thing, guys. If you have a dream, I don't even want to say dream, just like whatever you want for your life, goals, maybe you want to love yourself more, whatever it is. Why do you think that you can't have it? Right? Why can somebody random on the internet have it, but you can't? It's because of an old program, an old belief system that's trying, like fighting tooth and nail to keep you stuck. Stuck equals safe. I want you to stop saying stuck, and I want you to start saying safe. Perceived safety, I should say. So something that I've been trying. So what I used to do in the past, when that voice came up, I would fight it. I would try to do everything in my power to kill it off, and I would yell at it and I would fight with it, and I would get so, like, I would spend my time arguing with it, right? Trying to prove it wrong. And that's okay. Like, yes, you can try to prove it wrong, and you can realize that you are in control and you can have whatever you want and you can spend your time arguing with it. But what I've found to work, so in the past I would argue with it, but what would happen is I would spend all my energy arguing with it, and it would fight back and it would win because it would prove me wrong. I would be trying to come up with all these, explanations of why I'm worth it and trying to tell it, no, this time is going to be different. And that voice would win because it had something over me. It had all my past experiences. And by me giving it energy to fight with, it was going to fight right back. And when you spend your energy fighting with something, you're pouring that precious energy, when you could be focusing on your goal, to fighting with something that isn't real. And I don't want to say it isn't real, but it doesn't get to control you, if that makes sense. So what I've started doing and what I want to share with you guys to try, so I've been, like I said, I have this big goal, and I have felt like this crazy good energy about the new year for myself, for you guys, for everybody, right? And I have been scared of the voices. I've been just waiting for my failure, right? Does that make sense? And that sounds so shameful to say, but I'm not going to shame it because it is what it is. I want to be real with you guys. These are the voices that come up, and I am sharing it because I know I'm not alone. So I have almost not fully let myself go for my dream and like pour everything in it and be like, fuck yes, let's go. Because in the past, every time I've given up, right? I've always come up short. I've always let the voices win. I've always had past experiences to validate it. So it's almost like I'm not letting myself fully commit because I know the failure, or I'm perceiving that the failure is imminent, right? Because those voices have always won in the past. But what if you just let those voices do their thing, right? And I don't mean do their thing like control you and buy into them. I mean, what if you just thought of them as a screaming toddler that you're just going to let them throw their tantrum in their bedroom, right? Because when there's a kid screaming in front of you, you can try to calm them down. You could try to give them a cookie. You could try to give them everything that they want, but they don't shut up, right? When a kid is screaming at the top of its lungs, it's screaming at the top of its lungs. So what if you just let them do it, right? What if you just let them cry it out? There's nothing that you can do to fight them, to make them feel better, to prove them wrong. When a kid is bullheaded screaming about something, it's going to scream about it, right? So what if you just kind of compartmentalized it in your mind? You gave them a little room. I have vivid memories of this, like from babysitting when I was younger, just like putting the kid in its bedroom and just letting him scream it out, cry it out. I had a friend whose younger sister always threw temper tantrums. And what did they do? They just put her in a room where she was safe because they couldn't engage with her, and they just let her cry it out. 10 minutes later, she comes out of the room ready to play with us, right? That's the same thing here. And that's what I've been doing. So instead of pouring my energy into fighting against these beliefs that are so strong, right? They're very strong. They have a lot of power if you engage with them. But what I've been letting them do is just running it out. They're coming up from a place of fear. That's the other thing, guys. You have to remember, when I was talking about safety and being like staying stuck, we want to stay where it's comfortable. So that toddler, think of it as a toddler, is coming up because it's scared. It wants to keep you stuck because that's where safety is. So instead of fighting against it and being scared of it, because that's the thing, is I was like, oh, I hope the voices don't win today. I hope the self-doubt isn't strong when I wake up in the morning. Instead of doing that, I'm just letting it come up, and I'm letting it just scream it out, right? You've got something to say, little kid, little version of you, that screaming toddler. Let it cry it out. Because here's the thing, we don't usually get to control the thoughts that are coming up because they're default programs. I do preach like that we can choose our thoughts and we can choose our beliefs, but that comes with time after doing the reprogramming, the subconscious reprogramming work, right? So you can't always choose the thoughts that are coming up because of your default programming, right? Like for me, the last 25 plus years have been rooted in self-doubt and comparison and lack of confidence and blah, blah, blah. So it's not an automatic switch that all of a sudden you're going to wake up and your subconscious mind is now blasting sunshine and rainbows. However, you do get to choose what you make of those thoughts. If you act on those thoughts, the default thoughts that are coming up don't get to control your actions. You have a choice if you listen to those voices or not. You have a choice when that toddler is screaming, "You suck, you can't do it. Why would you even try? Your goal is stupid, it's silly." Those thoughts might come up, but you have a choice if you listen to them or not, right? So instead of fighting tooth and nail against your limiting beliefs, against your self-doubt, what if you just let them run their course and you chose a thought that felt better, right? What if you just prepped yourself? So here I was so scared that I was going to wake up in the morning and the self-doubt monster was going to be there and it was going to control me, right? And if you guys are commenting, for some reason I can't see my comments. I'm trying to refresh. They just don't pop up. I see that you guys are on live. I'm sorry. Hopefully I'll be able to see them after the live stream. What I've been doing is, instead of being scared of it, is I've just learned to walk with it. I'm just letting it hang out. And that's not to say I'm letting it control me, but I'm realizing that it's a part of me that is not going away anytime soon. I think in the beginning of my journey, I wanted to fight everything off. And yes, there's something to be said for healing and integrating, but that healing and integrating doesn't happen by you resisting. And that's what I was doing. I was resisting by me going to bed at night and saying, I hope those thoughts come up or don't come up tomorrow. I hope that I believe in myself in the morning. I hope that I'm in control. That's you resisting. What if instead you were able to back away and remember that you're in control no matter what? Those thoughts might come up. Actually, expect them to come up. But you get to choose if they have power over you. That's where your power lies. Not in controlling what's coming up. It's what you make of what's coming up. Does that make sense? You have a choice of how you proceed. So I'm doing this little game with myself where I'm not letting the self-doubt throw me off, right? I'm recognizing that it's coming up, but I'm watching it without judgment. I am just paying attention to when it's coming up and noticing when it's coming up more times than not. And I'm choosing how I want to move forward. Instead of when that voice comes up, "You're stupid. How could you think that you could have that? You're worthless. You've always failed in the past." I'm just letting it go. I'm not engaging with it. I'm not judging it. I'm not fighting it. I'm just letting it talk. And I am sitting there thinking, okay, is this going to make me feel good for the rest of the day if I listen to this voice? Probably not. What would make me feel better? What beliefs do make me feel good? And so when this happens, yes, these voices come up and they can affect your energy and they can make you feel less than, but you get to choose how you want to move forward. So what I usually do, because those voices are strong and they suck and they don't feel good. So what I've been doing is letting them happen and run their course. And listen, sometimes they last 10 minutes, sometimes they last an hour, sometimes they last a full day. So what I do to try to get out of that frequency is I put a song on, I dance, I shake it out. Maybe I do some EFT tapping. Maybe I do a meditation. Maybe I just do something that feels better. And as soon as I start to let myself feel better, it's crazy how quickly it takes over, the good feeling. So my challenge for you guys, what I'm trying to say in this entire video, is what if you just let those voices be? You weren't scared of them. You didn't fight against them. And this is not to say that they have power over you. I'm just saying, what if they were just there? They were kind of background noise. And what if instead you chose how you wanted to move forward? You got to choose your feelings. It's always a choice if you want to listen to those voices or not. So my suggestion is to stop fighting them. Just let them come up, observe them without judgment, witness consciousness. This is something I'm big on. Go watch some past trainings if you don't know what that is. And just let them be and choose how you want to move forward. Choose the beliefs that do feel good. I have reminders in my phone that go off almost every hour, reminding me of my goals, reminding me that it does feel good to believe in yourself, that it's not stupid, it's not silly. I am becoming the type of person who believes in myself, right? I have reminders go off on my phone. I have post-its, like, I don't know if you can really see. I have my vision board. I have all these affirmations here that remind me that I'm good enough because I can't do it on my own yet, right? My mind wants to convince me that I'm useless. So I have all these reminders that I'm not. And I know that might feel silly. That was another thing. I used to judge myself so much for having all these corny reminders. Don't judge yourself. If that's what you need to do to help yourself to believe in yourself, amazing. Don't judge it. Let it be. Okay? You already have this voice in your head making you so wrong. Don't let it do one more thing to make you feel wrong. Okay? That was kind of impromptu. I didn't plan to talk about that today, but it's really coming up for me lately. So I hope that was supportive for you guys. Let me know if you have questions. I'm curious to see how it goes for you if you try to just let that voice come up and kind of fight it out or let it run its course. Don't fight against it. Just let it, like a screaming toddler in a room, just get it out. And I'm curious to see how that goes for you. So I'm sending you guys so much love, support. I'm here for you. If you need anything, message me, comment on the video. Yeah, let's see how it goes. And I will see you guys tomorrow for day 4.